offense is as familiar as any sight in college football. But this year, the Fighting Irish of Notre Dame are seeking a new identity. Heisman Trophy winner Tim Brown has said goodbye. But waiting in the wings is a crop of players expected to write the next chapter in South Bend. Coach Lou Holtz is going to open a new season tonight against one of Notre Dame's arch rivals as the Irish begin a new year under the glow of the Golden Dome. For a century, the Michigan Wolverines have been doing battle with Notre Dame. And in recent years, they have embodied the tough personality of their coach, Bo Schembechler. He's back again with new vigor and a veteran defense that just may challenge for a championship if they can soar to victory against Notre Dame tonight. It's one of college football's greatest matchups. Michigan against Notre Dame here on CBS. Sports welcomes you to College Football 1988. Our scene is South Bend, Indiana. It was 6 years ago when these same two schools played the first night game ever at Notre Dame. The crowd that night, 59,075, a sellout. The same number that we'll have here tonight as Notre Dame will sell out for the 177th time. And the matchup is a great one. Michigan and Notre Dame coming up. Whom will Lou Holtz turn to tonight? Ricky Waters goes outside to that familiar flanker spot. But let's bring in my colleague now, Pat Hayden, because we want to talk about the man who is really under the gun, and that's their young quarterback, Tony Rice.
Well, you know, a year ago, he was a first-year player playing on a very experienced offensive team, but now he's got a good offensive line, a new offensive line in front of him, new wide receiver, so he's going to have to provide the spark that Tim Brown did a year ago. And, Brent, I think this is going to be a good offensive team down the road, but until that time, it's going to be the Tony Rice show.
Pat, there is another quarterback story at Michigan. Demetrius Brown was their starter a year ago, but he ran into academic difficulties. He's here tonight. He's eligible. He can play, but he will not start. And Bo Schembechler has turned this team over to Michael Taylor.
And Michael Taylor has been around. He's been around 4 years. He's a senior now, and he started 2 games a year ago. He's more of a runner than he is a thrower, a good, very good option runner. And what he has to do is not make the mistakes tonight. He doesn't have to carry the team because he's got a very good offensive line in front of him and a very quick defense.
And as you know, Pat, better than anyone, a quarterback is no better than his offensive line. And here tonight, Michigan holds a big edge in that particular category. This was a day when an upset involving another Michigan school highlighted the afternoon of college football. Let's go to New York now, and here is Jim Nantz with the very latest. Jim?
All right, thank you, Brett. Life without Tim Brown for Notre Dame today. Life without Lorenzo for Michigan State, the defending Big Ten champions. At home against Rutgers, the Scarlet Knights pull off the upset. Quarterback Scott Ernie with 2 touchdown passes. This one on a tip ball. Brett Marsola picks it up, 18-yard score. Rutgers with the first 17 points of the game, then holding on for victory. The shocker there in East Lansing. Head coach Dick Anderson of the Scarlet Knights in our studio will join us at halftime. Now another big one tonight, UCLA against Nebraska. The Bruins with 4 touchdowns in the first quarter, 2 on touchdown passes by Troy Aikman, leading it over second-ranked Nebraska 28-7, 10 minutes to go in the second quarter. And, of course, Ariel Parsegian with us in the studio. And, Coach, your outlook now on Notre Dame and Michigan tonight.
Well, I know the fans like to sort of follow the ball offensively, but I think tonight this game may well be decided on the defensive side of the ball rather than on the offensive side. Notre Dame last year lost its last 3 games, gave up 400 yards a game, 27 points a game. They brought in a new defensive coordinator, Barry Alvarez, changed their strategy and tactics. Michigan was not a vintage Michigan defensive team. They, too, gave up a lot of yardage and points. So the team that improved the most during the offseason may be the winner in this game.
Specifics. What can we look for if these defenses have improved?
I think for Notre Dame, their pass rush, it was non-existent last year. And for Michigan, it's very important for their pass defensive secondary to play well. They gave up a lot of touchdown passes last season.
All right, Coach. We'll look for that. And, of course, we'll be back here at halftime. Scores and highlights, but we'll rejoin Brett and Pat in South Bend after this message and a word from your local station.
It's a gorgeous sight, isn't it? Notre Dame Stadium ready for a night game between the Fighting Irish and the Wolverines. Take a look at the college football record book. The two winningest programs of all time. The Irish 78%, the Wolverines 74%. The coaching matchup tonight is a dandy. Lou Holtz of Notre Dame on the left, his third year, and he goes against Bo Schembechler. What a story he is. Last December, there were doubts that he would ever coach again after he underwent his second open heart surgery. He's back now with vigor, and no man personifies the coach quite like Bo Schembechler.
No man is more important than the team. No coach is more important than the team. The team, the team, the team.
My immediate reaction was, I just hope I live through this thing, but it looks like my career's over. And when I came out of the operation, and in the press conference, I heard the doctor saying, yes, he'll coach again. You can't believe how that made me feel.
And here come Bo and the Wolverines spilling out onto the floor of Notre Dame Stadium in their beautiful natural grass playing surface. His 20th year. Hostilities broke out a little early here tonight. For that story, down to John Dockery.
Grant, you talk about a ticking time bomb. That's what this is. You mentioned there was already a skirmish. The Michigan players were leaving the field. They crossed the path of the Notre Dame players. There was some brushing, some forearms were thrown, there was some pushing and shoving. The coaches had to separate the two teams and send them back into the locker room. The crowd got hostile, the players are short-tempered. This place is ready to explode. Anything can happen. Now up to you, Brent.
From inside the tunnel, the Fighting Irish of Notre Dame, the 88 version, ready to spill out onto the field with Coach Holtz. Conditions for a football game, this would be the menu. Tonight's busiest man on the floor of this stadium will be the Michigan all-purpose kicker, Mike Gillette. Leading the Irish offense. The running backs behind him. Green will start at the tailback spot. Braxton Banks is the fullback. Steve Alanis and Ricky Waters. Waters replaces Brown. And big Frank Jacobs will start there at tight end. What should we look for early, Pat?
What the Notre Dame will do out early in the game is come out in a lot of different formations. Holtz likes to probe the defense by formation and then attack in the second series.
They run Green behind the left side, and he broke a tackle before he is finally brought down by John Milligan. Line, but they helped open that hole. Mike Helt is the center. The guards, Tim Grunhardt has experience, but Winston Sandre is starting and playing in his first game. Dean Brown is a tackle, and Andy Heck has moved from tight end to start at the other tackle. The pitch to Green, and again a hole on the left side for a Notre Dame first down before J.J. Grant can get there. The defense, the nose man, is T.J. Osman from Michigan. Mark Messner is your All-American tackle. We'll hear a lot from him. John Herman starts at the other spot. Inside, J.J. Grant and John Milligan. Tim Williams and Bobby Abram. Rest of that Michigan defense. Here are the question marks. Inexperienced secondary. Arnold is their best man back there alongside Key. Murray is the free safety tonight, and Welburn opens at strong. Third down situation. His first pass. He has plenty of time. He overthrows his receiver. Incomplete. Steve Alanis, the split end out of the state of Texas, was the intended receiver. He had no chance on that pass. Series. The quarterback, Michael Taylor. His running backs. The fullback is a good one, Jared Bunch. They hope that Tony Bowles will be a good one, inexperienced. Colasar, whom I spoke about, and Chris Callaway. They're backed up by Greg McMurtry. Three dandy outside receivers. Derek Walker is the tight end for the Wolverines. 1st and 10, their first possession on their own 20-yard line. Here is that offensive line. Dingman and Chester are the guards on the other side of Vitale. The tackles, Bowles, Huzar, and Scrapanak. Scrapanak, a 300-pound school, brings him down. He anchors the middle of that defense. George Williams and Jeff Alm. They'll be tested by this veteran offensive line. Andre Jones and Frank Stams are the outside linebackers. The inside men, and they're good ones. Russ Pritchett, Michael Stonebreaker, the son of the former NFL player Steve Stonebreaker. And behind them over on the sideline, Ned Volcar, who will replace both off and on. 3rd and 5 now. And the Wolverines show slot and send Callaway in motion behind Taylor, who will throw his first pass. He'll drop it off here in the flat to his tailback, Bowles, who is stopped short of the first down by George Streeter, number 27. Ricky Waters, standing back on his own 30-yard line, is driven back by Gillette inside the 20 on a beautiful punt. But Waters finds a hole, one man to beat. He's gone. Ricky Waters makes like Tim Brown on his first punt return. There are no penalty flags. Touchdown.
And Brent, what a good punt returner does is not dance around. He takes the ball right upfield, and that's what he does. He's going to get a good block by number 37, Kalikowski, right there. And then the last block by a freshman, number 25. The last man had a chance to tackle him was Gillette, but Rahib Ismail, the true freshman, screens Gillette enough to let Waters get by him for the score. He just went north and south, read the blocks, and didn't dance around in the opening.
From Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. And for the last 2 weeks, Coach Bo Schembechler has been saying, don't worry about Tim Brown. They've got somebody as good.
And how good were the Nittany Lions? Well, they're answering that question. Just wearing out Virginia. 3rd quarter. Here's a touchdown pass. Tom Bills to Gary Brown. 42-7 in the 3rd. Blair Thomas did not suit up for Penn State. Back to Brenton Peck.
Brings the Irish up to the 20-yard line for the 1st and 10. And the pitches to his tailback. Number 40 for Notre Dame brings it around the right side. Tony Brooks, who was not expected to play tonight because of a stress fracture, and his right foot with his
39. He is going to make a good block. Anytime you pitch the ball outside, the fullback has got the linebacker one-on-one. Does a nice job of blocking Milligan, and that cleared the way for Tony Brooks, who's got to be wearing the up-boy. See those?
Fake the Banks. Rice looking deep. Throws it long. Almost caught. That was Rahib Ismail. This is Brooks spinning and down at about the 36-yard line. So Notre Dame will be forced to punt. 10 men up front. They drop back for the return. Colasar on one bounce is hammered. Hesitated before making up his mind to field it on the bounce. A 40-yard punt. He took a shot as Pat Terrell, number 15, led the special teams for Notre Dame.
Well, he is a brave man. You have to be when you return punts. And I want to tell you, Todd Light and Pat Terrell, well, they're excellent coverage.
Again with a slot formation to the right now. Taylor has time. His receivers were covered, and he is brought down by Frank Stams, the former fullback from Akron, Ohio.
If Notre Dame is going to get off to a good start, not only tonight, but early in this season, the defense is going to have to come up with big plays. That's what happened right there. Good coverage first allowed Frank Stams enough time to make the sack on Taylor. Good coverage caused the sack.
Now it's 3rd and long, Pat. What about the passing game of the Wolverines? They've got great wide receivers. Anybody can get the ball to them.
Well, it's 3rd and forever here. I think you don't risk the interception with a young quarterback. I expect to see them run a screen or maybe a draw, punt the ball, and play defense.
They send Bowles in motion. Now they send Horde out. Taylor under pressure took off, and Michigan is forced to punt again. George Williams cleaned up on the tackle for Notre Dame. Electrified this crowd with that 81-yard return for a touchdown. Drives Waters back to the 26-yard line. And he is down at the 42-yard line, where it will be 1st and 10 for the Irish.
Lone Wizard of the Oklahoma Sooners. 1 year ago against Oklahoma State, wrecking a knee, having to undergo an operation, and missed the Orange Bowl against Miami. Today, Holloway back at the helm, and Jamin Jamel keeps it here for a score as the Sooners shut out North Carolina, an identical score to last year's matchup, as we go back to Brenton Peck.
In for him. Brooks coming around from that wing spot. First down, and he busts down inside the 40-yard line. 19 yards.
That's a nice little call there by Lou Holtz. Notre Dame 40 lined up on the wing. They fade the off tackle the other way. Brooks comes underneath for the trap. Andy Heck, number 66, is right out in front of them. But that's a nice play call by Lou Holtz.
We thought that Brooks and Anthony... Long count. Rice taking off on the option and keeping it for a first down for Notre Dame to the Michigan 22-yard line.
Brett, I have to tell you, I'm a little surprised how cohesive this offense is because they are so young. This is the first option play Notre Dame has done, and this is one of Rice's specialties. They fake the ball to the inside fullback. Rice saw that the pitch man was taken there by the defender, number 3, Wellborn, so just turned it upfield. North and south runners we've seen here from Notre Dame today.
And that was a negative involving Michigan State. Congratulations to Dick Anderson and Rutgers in that one. Rice handing off that time to the big fullback Banks, and he busts down close to the 15-yard line before John Milligan, number 30, could wrap him up in that game. Banks leads Green, and Messner comes through for one of those great hits. He has that special talent, that Alex Karras ability of getting past the block and penetrating on it. On CBS, and hope you'll join us tomorrow at 12:30 Eastern Time and spend some time with Dick Butkus and Irv Cross and Will McDonough for the NFL Today. And then many of you will watch the San Francisco 49ers. We'll check in on the condition of Joe Montana. They'll be taking on the New York Giants after that spectacular second half against Washington. Chicago with a big one at Indianapolis. Pat, let me ask you about that game. Who do you like in that game, the Bears or the Colts?
I like the Bears. They're off to a great start. Looks like they're playing aggressive defense. Looks like Dent's going to be back playing.
Detroit and the Rams, New Orleans, Atlanta, Tampa Bay, Green Bay. Those are our early starts after the NFL Today. So it was last week. Tim Brown made his debut with the Los Angeles Raiders. And it was a sight to behold as Tim Brown, wearing 81 for the Raiders, went 97 yards with a kickoff return and a touchdown. And without a doubt, Tim Brown took another early lead in his quest to repeat his Heisman Trophy winner.
Are you trying to give it to him again? You took enough grief last year.
His replacements do. I didn't catch any flack this week. I mean, nobody complained me for being a homer or what.
Oh boy.
He's pretty good, isn't he, folks? And so is it. Banks is in there with Brooks, and Waters is lined up. Sort of a busted play. Rice keeps it and got to the 15-yard line, and that means a field goal unit for Lou Holtz will come onto the field.
Took his hands. I love it.
Hoodoo. 3 more for the Fighting Irish. Ho gets the last laugh, a 31-yarder, and Notre Dame leads Michigan 10-0. Return is not back there this time. Been shaken up. It's a high, short kickoff. And it is fielded at the 15-yard line by Leroy Horde. Fumble. Notre Dame recovers.
Wow. And I think Bo Schembechler was going to be upset that Horde fielded that kick. He was lined up way as a front man and went all the way back to retrieve the kick.
For a year ago, Pat, Michigan turned the ball over 7 times in that opening game loss to Notre Dame, and here's their first one here tonight, and Notre Dame with another scoring opportunity. In front of Green. Power football for Green. Hole on the right side. A penalty flag is down at the line of scrimmage, however. first mistakes by that young offensive line. And
one holding.
Tight formation again. Rice keeps it on that option and powers behind the right side of the offensive line. Let's go to John Dockery. Doc.
You know, Brent, you mentioned John Colazar not being back to receive that kickoff. Well, he's along the sidelines. He's having ankle problems. Not real serious, but the doctors are checking on it. He can't put pressure on it. Now back to you, Brent.
All right, Doc, thank you very much. We've come to the end of the first quarter. Notre Dame leading Michigan 10-0. College football on CBS will return after this message and a word from your local station. He's a 300-pounder and has a great future, they tell us. 3rd and 10 for Rice and the Irish. Time off a pump fake, almost intercepted. Through to a crowd, and Trip Wellborn deflected it.
As I said earlier, what really surprises me is the dominance of the Michigan offensive line when they've run the ball. They ran for over 90 yards in the first quarter. Again, watch the hands of Reggie Ho.
And also watch the follow-through. How can a little man do it? Well, some of you play golf, some of you aren't too big. You know the timing, and the follow-through is everything. Let's watch the 5-4 Ho. He's perfect again. Lead the Wolverines 13-0, and while they celebrate, let's take a look at this beautiful university, Notre Dame in South Bend. Looking for a return this time. This is Bowles from the 2. He's got daylight. Bowles breaks free, but he is run down from behind. Number 32, DeJuan Francisco, the fastest man on the Notre Dame team, cut him from behind and saved a touchdown.
Defense can't do it sometimes. Your special teams have to. Bowles follows his wedge. He picks up a couple of good blocks inside. You see the big hole there, and he's got pretty good speed. Puts a nice little fake on the kicker. Somebody tries to trip him. But Francisco, as you mentioned, the fastest player at Notre Dame.
These have been 1, 2, 3 and out. The old cha-cha-cha. And they stuck up Bowles again that time on first down. Nothing going. 92 led the charge. And speaking of the charge, Alabama and Coach Curry win. Auburn over Kentucky, but the Wildcats were stubborn in that one. Georgia looking impressive. They're a sleeper in the Southeastern Conference this year. Washington beating Purdue. It's a sad start for the Big Ten in non-conference competition so far. Ohio State did look good. I looked in on them this afternoon. Inside men. Taylor with that inside shuffle to Horde. Against that rush, it's a slick play. And Michigan gets a first down out of it on that trick play call for Coach Schembechler. Callaway and McMurtry are out to the left, and they will run forward straight ahead, and he is hammered. Stonebreaker did exactly that.
Is Stonebreaker the perfect name for a middle linebacker? Top right of the screen, number 42, Michael Stonebreaker. And
they split out of it. McMurtry and Callaway are wide. He throws to the near side to McMurtry, who spins, and the second man gets him down. Pat Terrell, number 15, was the first man to get a hand on him. They've got Callaway and McMurtry out to Taylor's right. And they run the draw play. Close to a first down. With that second effort, he may have gotten it. Bowles, Bunch, and Horde. Double tight end. Taylor's confused with one of his running backs. He keeps it himself for the first down.
I don't know what he was pointing back to his tailbacks for when he was running the quarterback sneak.
This is Williams, close to the goal line.
This is not the kind of wishbone that Oklahoma runs. This is a power wishbone that Michigan has that they use inside the 20-yard line.
And then over the top for the touchdown. Leroy Horde scores for the Wolverines. Gillette is on the field to attempt the extra point. Still 8.5 minutes left in the first half. They will set up in the swing.
Power football by Michigan using that offensive line. Ford's not going to make people forget Dwight Stones with this jump, but nonetheless, he did get into the end zone.
They go 38 yards in 12 plays, and the Wolverines have jumped right back into it. It's 13-7 Notre Dame.
The tally right here in the middle, controlled aggression. Watch how he comes off the ball. The most important thing for a center is the first step. He's got the best first step of any center in college football.
Ford up over the top for the touchdown. Stonebreaker appeared to have a shot, but may have slipped up trying to fill the hole. And Ismail. Scoreboard for the day. Penn State impressive in their opener. Virginia was going to field a good team this year. West Virginia, a dark horse for #1 down the road, and Phillips with a huge day behind Major Harris. Duke beating Tennessee 31-14. That's a surprise, isn't it? Mississippi State over Vanderbilt in the third. That's the very latest. Jim Nance and Ara Parsegan will be coming your way at halftime. Second and 6 for Green, who comes to the right side. Still
Get him settled.
3rd and 2, double tied in, and Wishbone for the Irish. Off the option, the first down. They handed it to Anthony Johnson. He's a hometown product. 6 foot, 225 pounds from South Bend. Bobby Abrams and J.J. Grant making the stop for the Wolverines. 10-10 for the Irish. They're on their own 42, and this is Brooks. He gets to the 45, and the ball comes free down there, but the Irish maintain control. Let's go downstairs to John Dockler.
Thank you, Brent. You might be wondering where the distinctive Michigan helmet came from. Well, back in 1938, Fritz Chrysler wanted to make it easier for his quarterback to spot his receivers downfield, and that's why he put the distinctive stripe on the helmet. The face mask came later. As a matter of fact, Brent, up until 1940, a player couldn't wear a face mask unless he had a broken nose or some other facial injury. That's back when men were tough. Now back to you.
Oh, don't let some of those youngsters out there hear you say that back when men were tough. Second down now. Rice on the pitch off the option. Short of the first down. Good.
Ordinarily, it takes a young offensive line a long time to mature because nowhere else in a team do you need as much teamwork and companionship as you do in the offensive line. But they've come together well tonight.
This is 3rd and a long 2 for Notre Dame. Rice is 0 for 6 passing here tonight. Green for the first down. Gets inside the 45-yard line. Mark Green, number 24, has been underrated here at Notre Dame simply because of the presence of the great Tim Brown. To the right. Off a fake to Johnson. Rice now brought down. Mark Messner, number 60, gets in and makes another big defensive play. Flanker out to the right. Waters here in the slot on the left side. And Rice intercepted. A ricochet pass that should have been caught by Waters, and David Key gets the rebound and a turnover for the Wolverines with 4:11 to go here in the first half. Taylor to Bowles, and Bowles out to the 38-yard line with Francisco bringing it down. Let's present this week's Toyota Leadership Awards. They go to the players who've been singled out by the coaching and faculty staff for their performance in academics and citizenship. Congratulations to both players. On second down, Ford swinging wide, close to a first down.
Brent, a terrific block by number 75, Greg Skrepanek. He lined up at the right tackle and really came down.
Second and long for Michael Taylor and Michigan. This is Bowles, hole on the left side. And Bowles gets a Michigan first down inside the Notre Dame 45-yard line. Michigan with a lot of time. Line seems to have solved the Notre Dame defense, alternating the 3 inside linemen off a fake to Horde. But a great play by Stans. They did not solve his rush that time. 3rd and 11 now for the Wolves. Taylor gets away from Stams, throws incomplete down the sideline. A heavy rush that time, and Flash Gordon went after the quarterback, and so did Francisco. Key Waters, his first punt return. And it was reminiscent reminiscent of one Tim Brown as Waters hauled it back 81 yards with Ismail throwing the final block on the punter to free Waters for the score. 13-7, Jim Nance and Ara Parsegian will be back after this new series here of the second half. In the first half, that was their last 5 possessions. Michael Taylor pitches to Bowles, who swings wide, trying to catch a hole on the right side. Callaway is the motion receiver. Bowles, the tailback, a huge hole. He explodes into the secondary. Out to the 36-yard line. Stan Smagala, number 29, forced to make the tackle after an 18-yard burst. This is the big fullback, Bunch. He's out to the 41, and Wes Pritchett, number 34, the first Irish defender to hit him there. Motion. They bring Bowles, and he is tackled by number 38, Flash Gordon. They're trying to get the wishbone set. It's 3rd and short. They ran hard into the heart of the defense, and the Irish held. No first down. Frank Stams and a host of defenders in there to fill that hole, and there was definite confusion and a late arriving back. Punch was returned 81 yards for a touchdown. Waters is back again, and Gillette drives him inside the 5. He fumbles, goes back into the end zone, coming out, and he is out of bounds. He is out of bounds at the 7-yard line. What about his judgment there, Pat?
Well, there's an old adage in football: you let a ball drop inside the 10-yard line, you don't try to field it, but you have a guy with tremendous confidence returning punts. He thought he could do it. I think we'll
checks in. Waters is the slot man to the right. And Rice to throw it. He had time. Almost intercepted. A great move by Abrams, number 24. Turn his first punt. Standing at the Michigan 46-yard line. High fair catch signaled at midfield and down at the 49-yard line. So it will be good field position for the Wolverines after that 41-yard punt, and long for Taylor and the Michigan offense. That inside shuffle, it worked once, but not a second time, as Chris Zorich, number 50, the nose man from Chicago Vocational High School, made the stop. Ending on his own 40-yard line. Hangs one high. Waters makes a mistake, and Michigan is recovered. It's off his body, and the ball is loose. He was trying to get away from it that time, and Bobby Abrams, number 24, recovers the fumble. It was a loose ball when it touched him. It became a live ball.
Twice tonight, Ricky Waters has slipped. Once he caused an interception. This time he slips as he tries to get away from the ball, and it hits him right in the chest, I believe. And there the Michigan hits him right in the left leg there, and then again in the knee. And Abrams makes the recovery. Special teams have had big plays on both teams tonight.
So Ricky Waters giveth an 81-yard return for a touchdown, and Waters taketh away. A fumble at the 15. Taylor out of bounds. He overthrew McMurtry. Field goal time, and a penalty marker has been thrown. Smagala down there, and let's see what the ruling is.
Defensive holding, they called, not pass interference.
Williams dives for the end zone, and he is stopped short. It'll be 3rd and goal. Bowles is hammered. Light was there, but Ned Bolkar, number 47, came through and hit him first. Bunch, forward of the backs. Taylor keeps it on the bootleg for the touchdown. Michigan scores as Taylor keeps it and bootlegs for 6.
outside tackling the fullback as Michael Taylor fakes the ball well and gets himself into the end zone to tie the ball game.
So when you come back, Notre Dame will be receiving the kickoff.
Dave Chester, the right guard, and Andre Jones, the linebacker. Sometimes guards do good fakes. He fakes the trap. Jones comes right down as Taylor comes in and sneaks right behind Andre Jones for the score. See the right guard pull? And that's where Andre Jones thinks the ball is, and that's an easy touchdown for Taylor.
The inexperience of a young linebacker. And now Michigan will kick it off as Lindell tomorrow afternoon after football. 12:30 is when we start. The Irish start here on 1st and 10. They swing it to Green. He's able to hold off a tackle. David Key, the defender from Michigan. He zips it complete. Number 80, Steve Alanese for the first down. And a big play, a 23-yard gain. Checking that scoreboard, UCLA impressively over Nebraska, and they will jump up to challenge Miami. Arizona over Texas Tech. Illinois and Arizona State are tied in the first quarter, and Washington State, which beat Illinois, has now done it again against the Big Ten. 2nd and 5 here for the Irish. Johnson breaking free for the first down. In 4 carries. He's still the fullback. Green is the tailback. This is Green straight ahead, fighting off John Milligan for that gain. Been running extremely hard as you see the scores from the American League East. Boston shutting out Cleveland. The Yankees rallying, scoring 7 runs to beat Detroit. And Seattle over Milwaukee by 1. But the Red Sox, getting that great pitching performance out of Roger Clemens, are now certainly the team to beat in the American League's Eastern Division. Ball is inside the Michigan 40-yard line. This is Brooks. He gets inside the 35-yard line, but it'll be short of a first down. 13-0 in this game. Mix up, and Rice spins away, shows his athletic ability, and appeared to get the first down. To the short side of the field. Waters out to the left. He pitches, and this is Green. Green to the 15-yard line for another Notre Dame first down. A 16-yard burst by the Tri-Captain.
This is the different Tony Rice this half. We've seen
5 for Tony Rice and Notre Dame. Green is behind Banks. 2 tight ends. And Banks, the fullback, powering right straight ahead. 35 pounds of dynamite out of Hawaii. His 3rd attempt is perfect. 31 yards, 38 yards, now 26.
It is amazing. You have a game of Big Ben, and you have a 5'5", 115-pound player making a difference like this.
Notre Dame leads it 16-14. We'll be right back. 1st and 10 for Michigan now. Taylor hands it off, and that was Bowles coming into the heart of the defense. Here's Bowles, stacked up again by that veteran defense. Flash Gordon, number 38, out of Hillside, New Jersey, leading the way. That's your impression of this Notre Dame defense here tonight. Wolverines trying to move the chains here. They hammered the fullback bunch. They ganged up on him that time. Brian Flannery, one of the defenders, and it will depend on where they spot the ball as to whether or not Michigan gets the first down. Taylor off the fake, buys some time, and throws complete to Callaway on the far side. Driven out of bounds near the 49-yard line. A first down for Michigan. George Streeter takes him out of bounds after a 17-yard gain. Shoulder surgery. He will not play this year for Notre Dame. be back next year, however. This is Horde, who scored their touchdown, blasting straight ahead for a big gain on first down. And that's one of the harder runs that a Michigan back has shown us tonight.
He is a bull, and he got a terrific push by his offensive line. Watch again the center, Vitale, come off. The left guard, Dingman, really comes off, gets his helmet right in the player. Then Horde, with those big old thick thighs, does the rest himself.
Big old thick thighs raised on some dandy cooking down in New Orleans. The top 20 fair. Well, Michigan State upset by Rutgers. Coach Dick Anderson, who was on Joe Paterno's staff at Penn State, doing a good job there at the University of New Jersey. Auburn over Kentucky 20. I'll get it changed yet, guys.
You keep trying, I know.
Keep working on it, yeah. Georgia, I'm very impressed with Coach Dooley's team this year. 38-10, I think TCU is a decent ball club, and Florida State comes up big. Inches to go for the first down. The fullback, and they pitch it outside to Bowles. Beautifully executed off the fake. Half the stadium thought the fullback had the ball that time. The pitch outside. Flash Gordon was forced to defend on the outside, but it's a first down for Michigan. Last year, West Virginia comes up big for the second week in a row. Phillips with a big game. Alabama, we heard from Bobby Humphrey at halftime, shuts out Temple by 37. South Carolina, impressive again tonight. And Iowa rebounds after that embarrassing loss over at Hawaii after Mike Francesa and Sport Magazine crowned them champions. Bulls behind the left side on second down is stuffed. Taylor keeps it inside the 20-yard line for another Michigan first down. Beautifully executed quarterback draw for 13 yards.
Moves and all the right decisions. Little play-action fake. It was a quarterback draw all the way. He found a little crease, and he's got some pretty good legs and quick feet. Knew where the first down marker was and easily picked it up.
Michael Taylor, out of Lincoln Heights, Ohio, started 2 games last season, has replaced Demetrius Brown. He has a 1st and 10 at the Notre Dame 20-yard line. Bowles, a penalty marker down as Bowles gets inside the 15-yard line. It's thrown by the umpire, and frequently that's a holding call against the offensive line.
For Notre Dame all night.
McMurtry to the left, Callaway to the right. Taylor to run that draw play again, and this time the middleman, Chris Zorich, the nose guard out of Chicago's Vocational High School, makes the big play. That's the same high school that produced one Dick Butkus, and as you would expect, Butkus has been his hero as he hard effort for Gillette. Solemn to hold. Gillette hammers it long enough. Good. And Michigan leads on a 49-yard field goal by Mike Gillette. He has been forced to kick off, punt, and attempt all the field goals and extra points tonight, and he has performed magnificently, giving the Wolverines a 1-point lead. Reggie Ho, and he is dwarfed by that kick he had down there. He has already made his first 3 attempts as the Notre Dame kicker. Now Hackett is warming up also because he is the long man. If they must go outside of 40 yards, it will not be Ho who is holding for Hackett, but they will go. Has gone tonight. Waters with that electrifying 81-yard punt return made it 7-0 Notre Dame. Then Ho hit his first field goal, 31 yards, and it was 10-0. Ho came back to make it 13-0 before Michigan got on the scoreboard. The Wolverines, with Horde coming up over the top, made it 13-7. Then on 4th and goal, Taylor kept it on the bootleg, and Ho's 26-yard field goal gave Notre Dame the lead again. But now it's Gillette's 49-yarder as Johnson is in at fullback on this first down. Off a fake, Rice to throw, a lot of time, far side, broken up, and a penalty flag down. Interference against David Key of Michigan. In-State comes up a winner. Brooks is the tailback. Rice on the roll is keeping it. Daylight on the left side. Rice busts across into Michigan territory. A 21-yard run by the Notre Dame quarterback.
22. He has run the ball well, and he's going to make a sensational block here for Rice. This looks like a run pretty much all the way. Watch 22 Johnson. Left of the screen, he knocks really two defenders down. Good downfield block by the wide receiver Ismail, and that's a nice play.
He hasn't passed for much, but Rice has rushed for 48 yards with 6 in front of Brooks. Rice to Brooks underneath. Brooks is inside the 30-yard line. Notre Dame first down as Pat Eilers cleared the way with the block. Green straight up the middle. The hole is open by the middle of the line, and Green explodes to the 19. And 4 yards for Notre Dame. Rice keeps it on the option. Breaks free, may have reached for the first down. David Key was holding down. It'll depend now on where they spot the ball and the measurement. So they get the first down.
Terrific effort by Tony Rice on a play that was pretty well defense by the Wolverines. 26 right there. David Key comes up, didn't get his head on the right side, the correct side of Tony Rice, and that's why Rice was able to carry him an extra 2 or 3 yards.
First, double tight end, I formation, Brooks the tailback. Johnson up the middle, breaks a tackle, still battling, and now he is down inside the 10-yard line. This will leave 4th and 3. We would expect to see Reggie Ho at the 120 mark, rather than Pete Graham. So here we go, a 26-yarder. Good for Ho. He's 4 for 4, the biggest little man in South Bend. Tingling all over when you watch a college game like this and a young man like Ho in his college debut.
Remarkable poise for a guy who's never done this here.
Watch the follow through, head down, drives through the ball, and a big hug from Pete Graham. But now hold on, there's 1:13, and Gillette has already made a 49-yarder. Notre Dame leads by 2, 19-17. McMurtry and Callaway are the wide men on first down. Taylor throws far side, complete to Callaway. 9 seconds.
Terrific pass protection here by the Michigan offensive line. Easy throw for Michael Taylor. I am surprised because Michigan really doesn't throw the ball to the tight end much.
We'll be back for the conclusion. Next Saturday, 2:30 Eastern Time, down to Death Valley, Clemson, South Carolina. They'll host the Seminoles of Florida State. Here with Murtry in the slot to the right, and outside of him is Callaway.
And I think they'll send Callaway in motion to try to get him
41-yard line for a first down. Callaway to the right, McMurtry to the left. Throwing to McMurtry, first down Michigan. A sensational 3rd down, 18-yard gain. Taylor to McMurtry. Second down for Michigan. They run right straight ahead. Squeezing out a couple more yards, and the clock is down inside of 10 seconds. So it'll be time now for Michigan to use its final timeout and send Gillette onto the field. With Ken Solomon holding. Dave Wild will snap it back. Kick is on the way. No good. Notre Dame wins it.
What a game. What can you say about it?
It was a great football game. I knew Michigan would be a great football team. I just have nothing but respect for our players, the way they played, the way they did things. It was a great hitting contest. Michigan played almost an error-free game. What can I say? Our passing game disappointed me, but our effort, the toughness, I'm so proud of them. But I got to give Michigan great credit.
What about your quarterback? He was two different things. In the first half, he was one way. Tony Rice in the second half was spectacular.
He threw the ball very well all fall, but that first half, he didn't do much in throwing it, but he runs the ball club, and we knew defense would have to carry us, but we're just glad to win and proud of our fans. They were tremendous, even though they got us a timeout.
Congratulations, Lou. We're being surrounded down here. Brent, now back up to you.
Thank you, John. Congratulations to Coach Holtz. And a great scene here in South Bend. There's no love affair like the student body at Notre Dame and its beloved football team, as Mike Gillette, with time running out, sent a 48-yarder off to his right, which just missed. And it was tremendous pressure applied by the Notre Dame rush unit against Gillette, who is in agony as he sees the kick bend off to the right. And Notre Dame has won it 19-17 as Reggie Ho comes in and hits his first 4 field goal attempts wearing a Notre Dame uniform. And the students and the players down here to my left.
All right, Brent, and I've got a smiling Ara Parsegian with me. Coach, that kick was awfully close.
Oh, boy, it really was. There's a little body English going on here. They played an outstanding football game, and I'm very happy for the Irish, and the defense really rose to the occasion, but there were no losers in that game. Both teams played outstanding football.
All right, Ara, let's take a look at some of the scores from today. UCLA over second-ranked Nebraska, 41-28. Troy Aikman, 13 for 22, 205 yards and 3 touchdowns as the Bruins won the game. Of course, he's a Heisman candidate, and here's what he had to say after the game, avenging 3 losses in the 80s.
I don't think revenge so much had anything to do with it. You know, we wanted to win. We felt like we should have won last year, just didn't play well, and we had a good team, good enough to play with them. And, there's just so much at stake. We're just tired of hearing so many times that we can't play with the big physical schools, and we're every bit as physical as what they are.
Again, UCLA had been trounced by Nebraska 3 occasions during the 80s, and UCLA avenges that loss tonight. 100th career win there for Terry Donahue. Clemson over Furman by 20. As expected, 23 straight wins over the Paladins for the Tigers. Oklahoma shut out North Carolina 28-0. Sooners 16-0 against the ACC. USC over Stanford 24-20. Late touchdown pass by Rodney Peete. It was a touchdown pass with 1:19 to go that pulled out the victory for the Trojans. What about Rodney Peete? You like him?
Oh, I really do. He did not have a great day, not certainly like Troy Aikman, but by golly, when he had to have it in that last drive in the 4th quarter when they were behind the whole time, he came up with the big plays, which shows you the mark of a great quarterback.
And of course, that win even more important because it was a Pac-10 contest. Auburn over Kentucky today, doubling up the Wildcats 20-10. Georgia over TCU by 4 touchdowns. Florida State coming back after last week's loss to Miami, 49-13. Deion Sanders intercepting the first play of the game, running it back for a touchdown. And also today, Houston was a winner over Louisiana Tech 60-0. 552 yards passing for Houston, which breaks the Southwest Claw tonight in South Bend. Let's take it back right now to Brent Musburger. Brent?
All right, Jim, thank you. And our Chevrolet most valuable players of this exciting game for Notre Dame, Reggie Ho, their rookie place kicker, made 4 perfect ones from 31, 38, and 2 from 26. The last one, the game winner. It was indeed the tale of 2 kickers, and our Chevrolet player of the game from Michigan will be Mike Gillette of the Wolverines. He is not a loser, even though he missed this one from 48 yards just off to the right, which left Notre Dame ahead by 2 points. But earlier he nailed a 49-yarder. He was forced to handle all the kicking chores here tonight, and he just came up a few inches short. And a check in the amount of $1,000 will be donated by Chevrolet to each school's general scholarship fund to assist qualified students in all chosen academic fields. It was a dandy. Notre Dame 19, Michigan 17. For John Dockery and Pat Hayden, I'm Brent Musburger. Now send you to New York, and here's Jim Nantz.
All right, Brent, so Mike Gillette missed by a whisker, and Notre Dame wins it 19-17. Couple of more scores tonight. Arizona taking on Texas Tech. Arizona leading as they've just begun the fourth quarter. Illinois and Arizona State knotted at 7 at halftime. Scott Mitchell, quarterback at Utah, 511 passing yards tonight and 3 touchdowns. The Utes will beat Idaho State. UTEP's John Harvey, 5 touchdowns on the day, 16 carries, 135 yards. Again, Rutgers, the big story today, 17-13 over Michigan State, the defending Big Ten champions. Duke over Tennessee. This is a real surprise. Duke was a winner, 31-26. Anthony Dilwig, the quarterback of Duke, threw for 3 touchdowns in that win. And Arkansas held on to beat Tulsa. Tulsa turning it over in the final minute. And next Saturday, let's remind you on CBS Sports, our college football action continues as 10th-ranked Florida State invades Death Valley for a shootout with 3rd-ranked Clemson. That's at 2:30 Eastern Time. Tomorrow, it's Week 2 of the National Football League on CBS, starting at 12:30 Eastern Time with the NFL Today. They'll update the quarterback injury situation around the league, and Dick Butkus will have a look at the new, slimmer refrigerator, William Perry of the Bears. Then it's game time. 49ers visit the Giants. Chicago travels to Indianapolis, and the rest of our regional action. Check your local listings. So for Brent Musburger and Pat Hayden in South Bend, Jim Nantz here along with Eric Parsegan. Good night from New York.